You are listening to another AlwaysMoto production. The AlwaysMoto podcast with your host, David Hogan. We talk moto events from around the world. All the injuries, all the training ins and outs, the bikes, parts and gear inspections. The results, we interview your favourite riders. It's the AlwaysMoto podcast. We occasionally have some coarse language and the odd stuff up along the way. If you don't like it or you don't agree with us, turn it off right now.
I'd like to remind you that he is not a doctor.
Welcome into the AlwaysMoto podcast. This is episode 145. It is the post-race interviews from the Pro Motocross Championship sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing here, round 5, Southwick. It's been an awesome day here. Weather was a bit inclement this morning. It was a bit overcast. Had a jumper on, had a few spots of rain, nothing crazy. But as soon as the gate dropped for Moto 1, the sun was out and it got hot. Not too hot, but it got hot. If you're in the shade, it was okay, but for the riders out on track, it would have been a bit uncomfortable for most of them. Humidity was up a bit as well. Now, we've gone through the pits, we've done our media corral, and we've checked in with a few of the riders that we could. Obviously, everybody gets out of this place pretty quick because there wasn't too many people left around when we were trying to get around the pits. Everybody's pretty much packed up and out of here, but we have got a few interviews for you from some of the people that stuck around, and we'll get some more stuff for you along the way. So check out these interviews. We'll have more. We're going to be at Redbud, we're going to be at Millville, we're going to be at Washougal. We'll do the same thing. We're going to hopefully have press day at all of them, and we'll have these post-race interviews as well. They'll be linked up on fullnoise.com.au as well as the AlwaysMoto podcast. So follow the sub-channels, the YouTubes, the podcast feeds, the websites, all that sort of stuff. Check them all out, but let's get to these interviews from Southwick. All right, round 5, Southwick, AMA Pro Motocross. We're here with Jace Kessler, Dirt Bike Depot rider, returning from injury. You've got the padding all still on there. It's the surgical wounds covered up, mate. Bit of a rough day, but you're coming back from injury literally a couple of days ago, surgeries from what you just said. So, yeah, tell us how it all went.
I had a high point 2 weeks ago. It was going good. I had a good day going, for not racing in quite a while. I had a good day, and Moto 2 just had a crash and ended up breaking the collarbone and had to wait all week to get in and get surgery figured out, everything like that. So I was able to get it plated this Wednesday actually. So I got it plated Wednesday, pretty much got out of surgery and was like, okay, we're going racing. So we turned around, drove here Thursday morning just because flights and everything was so expensive last second, because I had no plans on racing. I was like, I'm gonna give it a go, And so we made it here, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know if I could ride, but I said, I'm gonna give it my best effort, put my best foot forward, and give it my all. That's what we've been doing all year. I've had a lot of injuries this year, and something I've never really dealt with in the past, so it's been tough. It's been really tough, but we've been just trying to grind, and the day sucked. There's nothing to write home about.
I saw you at the back of the pack there a few times. I'm like, it's not going well. If I have heard right about the collarbone, it's probably going about as expected.
Yeah, honestly, my goal for today was literally just to qualify. I'm like, as long as I come here and I'm not losing out on money and I qualify, I'll be proud of myself for the effort of that. It's a deep field, and honestly, the pain was not the problem today. The pain was fine. I'm having some nerve issues from the surgery, and before that, just with the collarbone being so displaced, it was pressing on the nerves. So that was the main thing today, was just the nerves. I couldn't feel my arm, so it was just super weak. So when
Slight problem.
Yeah, when you can't hang on to the bike at Southwick, it's a problem. So I was just making it through.
So have you dealt with any collarbone fractures before? And did you know that you'd be able to do what you've done today by riding 3 days after surgery? Is that something you could have done, or are you just literally finding your way through this process post-surgery?
Kind of finding my way through. I know people that have rode, not this soon after collarbone surgery, but, I have a week out, so I knew it was doable, and I have a really high pain tolerance. I've been able to ride through some injuries that have been pretty gnarly in the past, so, I didn't expect it to be terrible, but it really, I got to get the nerves to come back, and I'll be good to go, really.
So when you go in for this surgery, do you tell the doctor, hey, I'm riding on the weekend?
I definitely didn't tell him I was riding this weekend. I said I'd be riding. But you know, they were not good with that.
So what did you do? So like I gather Wednesday morning you have surgery, wake up Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night you're at home, Thursday morning you're at home. What are you doing in that time to make this possible? Are you icing? Are you elevating? Are you just moving your arm around like normal? What are you doing?
Yeah, you know, that was the hard thing was you know, the recovery just in that short time, because I got out of surgery. You know, you're always groggy, you're feeling it, and you know, it was just alternate heat ice all day. And you know, I was trying to chill on it the most I could, not really move it as much as but at the same time you got to move it a little bit, or else it'll get stiff. So like it was hard to navigate that, you know, trying to move it but also trying to chill on it. So you know, for the last few days I just tried to take it easy, really.
Interesting process that you've gone through to get here, but obviously you're going to try and obviously have to recover again. It's probably going to swell a little bit, and I gather you're going to get to yourself to Redbud next week.
Yeah, I mean, Redbud's home race for me, so I can't miss that, especially with how much racing I've missed this year. You know, I was out of Supercross. I got hurt right before with my shoulder, came back from that. I had an arm injury, and then coming back from that, I had the collarbone. So it's been very rough, because you know, typically I always pride myself on staying healthy and making it through all these rounds, and typically, you know, I'm always up in the mix. So best way to do that is just to be out here. And you know, with the lack of bike time, I've only ridden 6 weeks since December total. So you know, my fitness isn't where it needs to be. Nothing is where it needs to be. But the best way to fix that is to be out here. So figure if I can dog it out, why not?
Yeah, 100%. You got to be here to be a part of it and get back into it. Well, hopefully that's the end of the injury run for a little while for you, and we can start to build back up. And very impressed that you were able to pull this off today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully we can just keep building. You know, hopefully this week goes smooth. Just recover and get ready for Redbud.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Michael Mosiman, Southwick. I would say a good day. You had some really good signs of some positive potential results. Something happened there at the beginning of the end of the first moto. The second moto, you're sort of coming through, but I would say it's a good day for you, mate.
Absolutely, a good day. Building. It's kind of been the whole thing of the year, and now we're building a little bit closer to the front, so that's always positive. Good qualifying, good start in the first moto. Had a bike issue that unfortunately I think cost me the podium, but that's racing, and I'm on one of the best teams in the paddock, and they're gonna do everything they can to fix it, and they fixed it for the second moto. We were able to put together another good result, but yeah.
Yeah, you're holding second there in that first moto for pretty much the whole race, except for basically the last lap, I think, nearly. So yeah, that massively positive step for you at this point with how you've been building up.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been a long road. The voice, but yeah, it's been a long road. And this time last year I was on a couch, with a broken neck and not sure, you know, how things were going to come together and if things were going to come together. So it's exciting. A lot of hard work has gone into it, and hopefully I can ditch that narrative soon.
Well, I'm going to ask you about the next side of things, but on that, like, obviously you had a few issues there. You did get, from what I've heard through other sources, you got a bit of a clearance there. But what have you had to go through yourself? Like, is there training involved that you did specifically for your neck to re-strengthen muscles? Is there something you're doing regularly now to maintain it? What are you doing, like, in that period? Like, did you do anything week to week for it as well?
Yeah, definitely upped the, neck strengthening protocols in, our conditioning, and as well as neck flexibility. Stretches more consistently.
Yeah.
Just anything to mitigate. I started wearing a neck brace to, get a little less neck movement in case of a fall. Anything I can do to mitigate that risk. Ultimately, they said I'm at no more risk than I would be otherwise. But this is the third time I broke my neck, so it's really scary. And I broke it in 2 places, and what's crazy is even, this is the second time, all 3 times I didn't think it was broken until I get in there and, they let me know.
Just have a little pain and you're like, oh, it'll be fine. And then you get the scan and you're like, oops.
Legitimately, I had a big crash, and we were driving to the ER, and I was, I hit my head, but I was coming to a little bit. I was like, all right, I'm sore, I'm stiff, but as long as nothing's broken. This is a week before Apollo last year. I was like, I should be able to race. I'll go down, see my neuroscientist, and we'll get my head in order. And, as long as nothing's broken, stiffness, I should be good. And then I get in there and they said, you broke. Hey, they tell you broke your neck. This is like a nurse that let me know.
Oh, awesome!
Even
better.
She was like, "Oh yeah, they tell you that this." And I was like, "No." I was just completely shocked. They were like, "Yeah, you broke this and this, and you broke your collarbone and you broke your first rib." Which first rib is like...
It's uncommon.
It's uncommon. It's heavy impact to break the first rib. So I got lucky. And
interesting way to look at it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It gets worse. I don't really want to tell the story. But
No, we don't need to go into all of it, but like just that part of there. No, just obviously that you're fighting through, you're coming back from all that stuff. You're working on it with the different training stuff to maintain it and whatnot. That's the other part. But then, as I said to you before we hit record, I sort of noticed when you took the jersey off, I was to walk past the truck, you got some tape on the back, so obviously just dealing with a bunch of stuff as the season goes on.
Yeah, everyone's dealing with something. And, my back was a little bit stiff this morning. And it was like, we're not going to take any chances. And so before and after every ride on the track, my performance coach massaged it out and put some KT tape on, which, fun fact, KT tape, everyone thinks it's designed for support, but it's actually not designed for support. It's designed for improved blood flow, which if you look at the tape, there's like different pockets, like there's like different levels of tape, and the idea is that it lifts your skin in those low spots to improve blood flow.
Depending on who you talk to, it's designed for about 50,000 different things. That is one of them that you've just mentioned. It's amongst other things of proprioception and feeling and just telling you that you're getting lengthening, like it's lengthening too much and stuff. But yes, that's... How much all this is accurate, I don't know. I'm not in that side of the research on it, but yeah, there's a lot of uses for it, and obviously you're just using it in that particular sense.
A friend of mine was involved with like the development of it, and So, anyways, that's what he told me.
Yeah,
so.
No, fair enough. No, all good. I'll take his word over anything I know at this point if he's developing it, so he should know. So, well, look. Redbud next week, is it something that you like to go to? Is it a disliked track? What's the thoughts on Redbud next week?
Redbud's always a gnarly track. It's really challenging, and it's like ruts up and so many different like terrain there. You have really hard slick. Some spots you have the dark clay that's hard to even see what line, and it can be almost like a muddy feeling. You have hardened ruts. And then you have like full-blown sand sections. So it's really throws everything at you, and one of the most challenging tracks I think on the circuit. But we're gonna work hard, and I feel pretty good about my suspension setup right now, and we'll make some adjustments for that specific track, but should be good.
Well, I think there's a podium coming for you shortly. You've sort of been working towards it today. I think you just missed out on it from that one little issue you mentioned, but it's coming close.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate your time. All right, Southwick still. Post-race, Lorenzo Locurcio. Mate, 2 point scoring motos today, but as we we're just saying, you're not completely happy with the day.
Yeah, today was good. Made a lot of progress. Qualifying was better, just the B group was quicker, some guys, but my speed is better. In the first moto, I got a better start, and I was like up there. Unfortunately, I got arm pump, and it just went downhill from there. I just lost some positions and just finished 15. And then the second moto, I got a worse start than the first one, and I was just like coming through the pack, and then I hit a big gap, and I didn't know I was catching 15 and 14. And then when I saw them 2 laps to go, I tried to put a big push, but I was already tired. So I almost got them, but I didn't get them. So 15, 16 for the day, not terrible.
It's not terrible, and the fact that you're getting points like regularly is a good thing. But it's hard. You talk about that bit there in the middle where you feel like that gap mentally, you can switch off in that time very easily because you think that you can't do anything about it, and then all of a sudden it's hard to pick that back up physically when you do all of a sudden realize that they are within reach of potentially passing them, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little miscommunication between mechanic and I. we just need to work on that because I feel like if he kept me motivated, I could have had more laps where I didn't get to Valentino until last lap, so I didn't have much to play with. And I feel like if I would have had like at least 3 laps, I feel like I would have got them both because they seemed tired, and I was just like, I know they're more tired than me, so I'm just going to keep pushing. But yeah, I mean, I just had a big gap, and I didn't give up necessarily. I was just more worried about people behind me, just trying to keep the gap. And then when I saw a glimpse of the ride in front of me, I was just like, okay, it's time to go. So it was a little too late, but it was good.
So what's this week look like for you? You're obviously running your own show here with Wildcat Gas and got Redbud next week. So what's the week look like for yourself coming up?
Yeah, so I fly home tomorrow. I try to rest a little bit Sunday, and then on Monday just kind of work for the team, kind of restock all the parts we used this weekend, and talk to the gear company where they're gonna ship the gear to and all that good stuff. So Monday it'll be more like a work recovery day. I'll try, if I don't have to go running around, I'll try to do some sort of like exercise. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll be on the track. Thursday flight back here, and it's all over again.
It's amazing how quickly it sort of restarts again, doesn't it, from week to week, especially when there's no gaps. You're only really having, 2 gaps in this season for the motocross, aren't we?
Yeah, this year they're kind of doing a new system, which I think it's pretty good. Yeah. They got 4 races, and then we got a weekend off. And now we started the other part of the season, which is another 4 races. And then I think we get 2 weekends off because of Loretta Lynn's. And then we finished the last 3. So something I don't know if they did it last year. I can't remember.
I think there was a few more. There was about 3. There was 3 and then a gap, and then 3 or 4, then a gap. It wasn't quite this. This one I feel like looks a bit better. And the way it's organised with those, especially this run where we're in Southwick, Redbud, Millville. Washougal's the outlier always, but these 3, at least they're in similar sort of range.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then also they did it very good now where they do Washougal and then 2 weeks off, or 2 weekends off. So that way there's enough time to get the rig back, get all the bikes ready, and then just finish the season. So I think it's pretty good.
It's not bad. So, and somebody's taking this rig for you guys around, so you don't have to worry about that aspect. You're not travelling, the days or 2 afterwards, just watching a car run over a witch's hat in the background. But yeah, so you're not driving this around yourself as such.
No. We got a driver, which is my cousin, which is it's pretty fun, Like I said, we're a family team, and I mean, I got my cousin working for me. He has a driver, like a CDL, so he drives trucks. And then at the same time on the weekends he does mechanics, so we try to get them all, squeeze every little bit we can. We're a small operation, but we try to do as best as we can, so I feel like this year we're accomplishing that. I feel like this year's pretty stacked compared to other seasons, and we're still in the fight, so I'm still not happy, but we're looking to keep progressing every weekend. And yeah, I'm excited for Redbud. I always like Redbud, 4th of July weekend, so I should be good.
Sounds good, and we'll look for another points-paying motos in Redbud for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're here with Grant Harlan. He's just filling me in on his living arrangements for this evening. He's going to maybe bunk in with a mechanic, but otherwise, we talked earlier in the day, and you wanted to get 2 points-paying motos because Southwick's not your favourite venue, and we've achieved that.
Yeah, the last 2 years I've raced it, which is the only 2 years I've raced here, both first motos have been 0-pointers, so, and with a lot of crashes. So happy to get both motos in the points, 17-17, no crashes, making it through the day.
Job done.
Job done.
Southwick ticked off, we can move on. Now I just asked, Redbud's next week. Obviously lots of people tend to say that's their favourite track for lots of different reasons, but you said you're a fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite track, but it's one of the better tracks on the circuit for sure.
What is your favorite track then, out of curiosity?
Probably Paula.
Are you serious?
I mean, I do good there every year. I like the track. I ride good, so. There's
nothing wrong with liking it. It's an odd response from people when they consider all these other tracks to be, of higher status in world motocross.
I mean, it's probably the same feeling like the Euro guys get when they come here. and everyone's like, we're racing Southwick, and they love the sand. Like, everyone goes to Paula, and it's like, we hate Paula, and I'm like, I'm just ready to have a good time here.
I have I'm an Aussie. I've ridden over here in SoCal a few times, just on high bikes, and I quite like those tracks. I have no problem with them. From me riding there, I think they're fantastic, but everybody here thinks that they're not, so it's just odd, that's all.
Yeah, I think the big thing that gets people at Paula is like, I've never really ridden there besides races until this year, moving to California, and like during the week, it's nothing special. Like, you get the ruts that are really shallow and blow out, and the bumps and holes and the rocks that show up and stuff like that. So I think that gets a lot of people, and it's like one of the few tracks that you have to ride during the week. So, people that have been out there for years, just the repetitiveness of it, they probably get sick of it and having to go there. But like I said, it's one of those tracks I show up to and I ride good every time I race it, and I don't know, I always feel comfortable. So
fair enough, that it works for you, so that's the main thing. So you've relocated from Texas then out to California, I gather, just this year. What's behind that move?
Just something different.
Felt like it?
I mean, I've been in Texas pretty much my whole life, like dirt bike life anyway.
Yep.
And I don't know, something different.
Okay.
A higher speed aspect there. The mile per hour average over the course of the lap is a lot higher, and I think that's something I need.
Well, that's one thing why Parla, people usually don't like Parla, is because it is a faster track and there's nothing to it after that sort of thing. So yeah, you are gaining that aspect of it when you're there.
Yeah, I mean, I might just need to move here next so I can just ride Southwick every day and figure it out, because I need to figure something out here.
Well, look, you've got points. That's all that matters. On the Redbud, what are you doing this week?
Obviously, back to the regularly scheduled program. Don't have a weekend off, so recover, ride a little bit, and get ready for Redbud.
2 days riding? 1 day riding?
Usually 2 days, yeah. Unless like weather or I'm super smoked, but.
How's the body after Southwick? People usually say that sand tracks, fatigue you a bit more. You feel any different to any other week?
Yeah, I mean, they do fatigue a little bit more, and had some flight troubles getting here, and Thursday night got like 2 to 3 hours of sleep, and then a
wicked.
full 12-hour travel day, like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to get here. So that got me a little bit today, but other than that, feel usual national, tired. Should be fine by Monday. So
what's your recovery program then on a Sunday or a Monday? What do you do do you do a little cycle? Do you sit around on the couch and do absolutely nothing? What do you do?
Sunday, yeah, absolutely nothing. And then Monday, like I'd imagine most people, go on a cycle. And then Tuesday, Wednesday ride, Thursday cycle and fly. And then kind of recover a little bit Friday, get everything ready to go, and go race on Saturday.
Sounds good. All right, regular program. All right, well, look, we'll see you at Redbud. Hopefully we get another couple of points in both motos and keep rolling on with the season.
Yeah, should be good.